Assalamu alaikum students and a very good morning to all of you. This is your teacher Miss Azmana and I am here with another week's home task. Let's begin. Now students, we all know what are parts of speech. In parts of speech, we start with noun and eventually we move towards adjectives, verbs and adverbs. Today, the part of speech that is um, the part of our discussion is adjective. Now, we all know what are adjectives. I don't need to go into the basics. Let me just give you one line. Adjectives are the words which modify the nouns. Today, we are going to do the adjectives, their positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. So the topic is going to be the comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. We have two degrees of adjective. We have comparative adjectives, which eventually tell us that two nouns or two pronouns are being compared. And then we have superlative adjectives, which we use to tell that the noun that we are talking about is a supernoun or there is no comparison of that noun with anything. Comparative adjectives. When do we use them? We use them to compare two objects, people, places, etc. Now, students, it is important to know the rules of using comparative adjectives or how to make comparative adjectives in English language. Let's see. Rule 1. Adjectives with one or two syllables ending with OW, ER, Y are made by adding ER. For example, adjective plus ER plus then. Let's see example. Bart is taller than Maggie. See, I added ER to my adjective tall over here. And then I added then. That was because tall is one syllabic word. Rule 2 for making comparative adjectives. Adjectives ending in Y change into IER. For example, lazy, lazier than Homer. Homer is lazier than Lisa. So you see, I added IER with the adjective that was ending with Y. Rule 3 for making comparative adjectives. One syllable adjectives ending with consonant plus vowel plus a consonant. Double the last consonant and add ER. For example, fat. In fat, we have F as a consonant, A is a vowel, and T is a consonant. So in CVC order, we double the consonant at the end and add ER and then fat, fatter than. Homer is fatter than Marge. Rule number 4 for making comparative adjectives. Adjectives with two or more syllables add more before the adjectives. Now more plus the adjective, two or more syllables plus then. Now, this is going to be the structure. For example, beautiful will become more beautiful then. Let's see example. Maggie is more beautiful than Mr. Burns. Rule 5 for making comparative adjectives. When we have irregular adjectives, it is just to memorize. Good, better than, bad, worse than, far, farther than or further than, much more. So these are a couple of exceptions that you need to memorize, and never say gooder or goodest. You never say badder, or you never say farther, or you never say mucher while making the comparative adjectives of these words. So it's better that you memorize these irregular adjectives for yourself. Now, this is just a little summary for you people to memorize and put it at one side so that you may never forget the rules for making comparative adjectives. Rule 1 is, as I said, when we have one or two syllables, we add an ER at the end. For example, the adjective tall, clever, and yellow will be changed into the comparative degrees taller than, cleverer than, yellower than. Rule number 2, we say we drop Y and add ER if we have any words which we have any adjectives ending in Y. For example, lazy, happy, they are ending in Y. So I said lazier, then happier, then. Rule number 3, when we have the order of CVC, that is consonant, vowel, and consonant, we double the last consonant in the adjective. For example, fat and big are the adjectives. We are going to double the consonant to make a comparative. For example, fatter than and bigger than. Rule number 4, two or more syllables add more. For example, if we have any word which is having more than two syllables, we say beautiful or dangerous. So we say more beautiful than or more dangerous than. Rule number 5, we have certain irregular forms of adjectives like good and bad. We add better than and worse than. We also call them irregular adjective forms. Now students, it's time to do the superlative adjectives. Comparative is done, superlative is easier. When do we use them? We use them to compare one object, person, place in a group. Actually, there is no comparison in superlative adjectives. Alright, rule number 1 for making superlatives is the same for the comparative. When a word is ending in OW, ER, or Y, then we add EST. For example, Mr. Burns is the richest in Springfield. Remember, don't forget to add the definite article, that is the, before your superlative. Rule number 2, adjectives ending in Y change into IEST. Again, funny, the funniest. For example, Krusty is the funniest clown in Springfield. Rule number 3, one syllable adjectives ending with consonant plus vowel plus consonant, we double the consonant and add an EST. For example, fat, the fattest. Homer is the fattest in the Simpsons family. Rule number 4, adjectives with two or more syllables add the most before the adjective. For example, the most, dangerous. For dangerous, we add the most. Fat Tony is the most dangerous gangster of the Springfield Mafia. Rule number 5, We have certain irregular adjectives in making superlative adjectives, and we need to memorize them. For example, good, the best, bad, the worst, far, the farthest or the furthest, much, the most. Please memorize these superlative adjectives for yourself. Thank you very much, students. I hope you liked this video, the comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.